Hey everyone, Rizzo here. And before we start the video, I just want to give a brief introduction for those unfamiliar. This video is a semi-self-aware piss take on an old series I did from 2012 to 2014 called Inside Zed. It was unequivocally a play the game home ripoff, but even edgier if you can believe it. After that, I started a series more of you are likely familiar with called Serious Weapon Guides. Since 2016, people have been jokingly asking me to review the KT-4, and I've refused. But seeing as it's the holiday season, and I adore taking the piss out of myself, I figured I'd kill two birds with one stone. So, without further ado, let's get into what might just be the best and worst video I've ever made. From me to you, happy holidays. Enjoy.
Hello, and welcome back to another installment of Inside Zed. It's been quite a while since our last convergence. We were initially going to cover the Russian-made PPSH-41, but due to so much impatience, we will instead be covering another highly requested weapon, the Kusanagi-no-Tsurugi, or KT-4. Created by Division 9, the Kusanagi is a wonder weapon found in the depths of the Pompeii facility. While the casing for the weapon is instantly accessible, the weapon requires 3 individual components to infuse the chemical needed for the weapon. First off, an underwater plant, which can be obtained by journeying deep into the facility. A spider's venom, which can be acquired by luring a spider into the cage found in a lab, after which the venom will be extracted, evaporating the beast. The final part needed is the green vial, which can be found on the scientist's person near Lab B, but only after you've restored power to the facility. Once all 3 parts are collected, you must now head back down to the workbench in the bunker and mix the chemical compound for the weapon. The base Kusanagi is a semi-automatic charge-fire wonder weapon that holds 6 rounds per vial, and each survivor can carry a maximum of 6 vials in reserve. Each shot is fairly powerful, and when employed against a typical Zed, spores and vines will grow and ensnare their body until they eventually explode into red mist. Spiders, however, will instantly explode when shot. When employed against the nightmarish experiments known as thrashers, it will destroy their sac. It will destroy their sac. Motherfucker. Let's try that again. It will destroy their sacs, which, while it might not always yield a direct kill, will make them considerably easier to take down. It is important to keep in mind that the longer the user holds the trigger, the more lethal the shot will be. While the weapon may be powerful, the speed at which the user can replenish the weapon's ammunition is rather slow, and with each charged shot taking more fluid from your vials, longevity is not in the cards. The Kusanagi's chemicals can also be upgraded into a more powerful mix via an upgrade quest. Like the base chemical, 3 pieces are needed. First off, the spider's venom. One must acquire the base Kusanagi and enter the domain of the giant spider. After the fight is completed, walk over to its corpse and take its tooth. Next up, the Divinium Vial. Once you've completed all the island's trials, return to the altar, equip your shield, and wait for lightning to strike the altar. Now, return to Lab B and electrify the control panel. You must now enter the cage and you'll be taken down to where the Divinium Vial hides. The last piece is another plant. Use the Skull of None subway to memorize the wall and plant a seed. This seed must be watered underwater with rainbow water once per round for 3 consecutive rounds. If for any reason the survivor misses a round, you must wait another round to retry. It is important to note that you cannot open the plant's resting place until mesmerizing a completely unrelated piece of paper and the door to the elevator shaft's generator. Once you've acquired all 3 components, return to the weapon bench and mix the ingredients. Once infused, a survivor can pick up the weapon, now known as the Masamune. It is important to note that only 1 survivor need go on this quest, as all subsequent users can simply walk over to the table and infuse the Kusanagis with a single interaction. As for the weapon's practical use, it's simply a more powerful incarnation of the Kusanagi. A charged shot's puddle is now larger, lasts longer, and can kill more Zeds at once. It's also significantly more effective against thrashers, and is needed to free the tortured soul known as Takeo Masaki. However, all handling speeds remain unchanged. Aside from its role as a reliable Zed killer, the Kusanagi and Masamune can also be used to fertilize a planted seed for higher tier rewards. Keep in mind that to gain said reward increase, the plant must be watered and fertilized for 3 consecutive rounds. One final thing to note about the Kusanagi is that if you're to shoot a spore around the island, the spore will be purified and grant the user a temporary speed bonus. This effect also happens if a thrasher is killed by the weapon. For perks, Speed Cola is recommended to help the Kusanagi slow reload speeds. Some survivors may employ the use of Juggernaut, but that's essentially cheating, so I cannot in good conscience recommend the usage of this perk. In conclusion, the Kusanagi is an incredibly powerful weapon that will allow even the most unskilled survivor to last into the higher waves with ease. Not that surviving the zombie horde was all that hard in the first place, as our skilled viewers will know. And with that, the curse is finally lifted. Old Rizzo is free from this realm. And I was the edgiest one, and you won't even remember. Goodbye, my friends.